Hey, what's up everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video. Why does sitting at a computer cause knee pain? It's kind of ironic that we get knee pain from sitting, but today we're going to look at a couple pictures and understand why that is. Here's a picture of a good example of what to do. You can see here that this person's feet are flat on the floor. It's pretty standard that if your feet are flat on the floor, that's a pretty good position to be in. The hamstring is, I wouldn't say relaxed, but it's in a neutral state, I would say. It's not contracted. That's where we get into issues is we contract that hamstring due to stress or our chair being the wrong height. There's a number of issues why we contract our hamstring, but what it does is it brings our feet underneath our body, and that's not a good thing, keeping that hamstring contracted all day long. We'll look at some pictures here. Here's a good example right here. So this user looks like his chair's a little bit too high. His hips are way over his knees. If you look over here to the right, his hips are not quite as much higher than the knees as they are in this other picture. They're just slightly higher than the knees here. They're a lot higher than the knees here. So this chair is too high. What's that's causing him to do to balance himself is to contract one of his hamstrings and pull that foot underneath his body. What that does is that's going to cause all kinds of muscle confusion throughout the soft tissue, tendons, ligaments, not only muscle confusion, but throughout all those tissues. It overextends the back heel and the calf and the Achilles tendon, and it compresses the front of the foot, which is the tibialis is a muscle well known for the front of the foot, which works opposite as the calf. So anyway, what that's going to do, contracting this hamstring for 8 hours a day, is going to cause all kinds of knee dysfunction. It overextends that knee in a big way. So all the front anterior side of the knee is extended, the quadricep muscles, the tendons, and the patella tendon down here below the kneecap is all overextended, and the back of the knee is super compressed. So that's a fine position to be in if we're jumping or squatting or playing sports. But when we're sitting for long periods of time, that's not a good position to be in. Over here is a better example. He's got his feet flat on, it seems like they're on a footrest because his chair is a little bit too high to be flat on the floor. So if you have to raise your chair too high, if you have to raise your chair higher and your feet aren't touching the floor, that's when it's applicable to use a footrest. Next picture here, similar situation. The picture on the left is the correct version. You can see this neutral hamstring. The foot is going out a little bit as opposed to underneath the body. If you look at the picture to the right, she's got that hamstring contracted, pulling the feet underneath the body. And again, her chair, in order to get her elbows above this desk level, she had to raise her chair high enough so that her feet wouldn't touch the floor. So she's taking advantage of a footrest, which is a great example right there. Next picture, again, chair's too low on this one, but again, hamstrings contracted, pulling that foot underneath the body. This is where that knee pain comes in. That knee is way, I guess you call that overextended. It's contracted in the hamstring and the back of the knee. So the front anterior tendons and quad muscles and that patella tendon under the kneecap are all way overextended. So what's going to happen is that's going to make that quad a lot weaker. It's going to make all the muscles in the leg weaker when you sit there for a long period of time. The quad is going to be overextended and lengthened. The hamstring is going to be compressed and shortened. So it's going to cause all kinds of confusion throughout the knee. That's why we get that knee pain. The hamstring is contracted, the quad is overextended. The quad is most likely pulling on tendons into the knee, and that's usually where the pain is. In my situation, speaking from experience, that's where I got all my knee pain, is from tension in my quad being lengthened and overextended all day long from pulling my feet underneath my body. So the quad muscles get tight. There's 4 quad muscles, which means there's 4 tendons basically that attach to the kneecap, or not the kneecap, but the knee area, some kind of bone in the knee area, one way or another. And the inflammation in those tendons is what we're likely to feel the pain in before we would ever notice that there's an issue in the quad. If you look over here in the picture to the right, it's got nice relaxed hamstring. Legs are not straight down, but they're out in front of him a little bit. Feet are out in front of him a little bit, and he's taking advantage of a footrest. So that's a good example right there. One more example, same thing going on. He's got the feet pulled underneath him. Hamstrings are super compressed. Quads are way overextended, and sitting like this for a long period of time is going to overuse those quads, which the tendons connecting those quads to the knee is where the pain is going to is you normally going to come in from sitting at a computer for long periods of time. You look over here, much more relaxed upper leg. Hamstrings are in a neutral state, and the feet are just slightly ahead of the knee. That's a really good position right there. Feet are flat on the floor. That's the key, is to make sure those feet are flat on the floor. And I included this picture because I like this picture a lot. He's got one leg, 1 foot pulled underneath him, and one seems to be in a decent position. But even if you just pull 1 foot underneath you, that's still contracting one hamstring for a long period of time, and it's easy to get into a habit of sitting like that all day long. So then you got one hamstring that's way too tight. The quads on the other side of that leg are tight, but they're lengthened and overextended while the hamstring is compressed, creating all kinds of confusion throughout the kneecap, which leads to pain and inflammation in the tendons in the knee. So the problem with knee pain from sitting at a computer isn't necessarily a problem. It's not necessarily caused in the knee. In my situation, it was caused up in the upper leg. Either the hamstrings or the quads were way too tight and overused, and pulling on those tendons, causing pain and inflammation in the tendons in the knee. And here's a good example, last but not least, of feet flat on the floor, hamstring in a neutral position, feet slightly ahead of the knee. And that's a great example of how to sit at a computer while trying to minimize knee pain. And that's it for today's video. Why does sitting at a computer cause knee pain? I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving the quality of your life, and that's something to be very proud of. The best way to keep up with me, if you want to see future videos, sign up for my free email updates at sittingposture.com/newsletter. I only send one email out a week. That's on Fridays. I don't spam. I don't sell email addresses. Just one email a week, and you can unsubscribe anytime you'd like by clicking a button at the bottom of any of my emails. What I'll put in those emails is I put a link to the article that I wrote for my website that week, as well as 2 links to the YouTube videos that I posted to my channel that week. So if you want to sign up there, that's the best way to keep up with me, sittingposture.com/newsletter. Also, you know how it goes with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see my videos in your feed more often. And if this video helped you out, please like and share with a friend, because the more people that see my content, the more ability it gives me to make more videos. And I appreciate you guys for that. I really do. Thanks a lot. This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Thanks for joining us today. See you guys on the next video. Take care.